Hey, welcome back everybody. You're listening to Ultimate Affiliate Marketing. I am your host, it's Paul Motley here, and I would love to hear about where you found this podcast, how you found this podcast, and all that good stuff. So if I just want to take a moment of your time and drop me a message on Facebook and let me know where you found out about the podcast itself, because obviously I see the numbers and I see how many people are downloading and all that good stuff, and to be honest with you, I am super appreciative, should I say, of you guys taking the time out of your busy schedules to listen to this podcast. Now, if it's your first time listening, then I do these podcasts every day, and there's a reason behind that. It's because I wanted to find a channel where I could give back in a consistent manner and that I could deliver as much value to you guys as possible. And it was really sort of like, the podcast itself started probably in November 2019. I had every intention of doing like just purely interview styles, and what I found was that it was really tough to schedule people in, get the right people in, or maybe I was being too picky, I don't know. But not only that as well, getting people to then share it to their audiences was a struggle. At the end of the day, I had Dean Graziosi on, and, asking him to share the podcast was a bit of a tough ask, but I did it anyway, and he said he will see what he can do, which turned out to be nothing. Even in the early days, I had people like Blake Newbar on, there was Kevin Stephen, recently there's been Brian Delaney, and some really, really good guests, and I really appreciate everybody that comes on, and it's just been great to connect with people, and especially those people which I talk to on a regular basis or interact with on a regular basis just on Facebook. And I love what those guys are doing, and getting them onto the podcast to share their journey, share their success, and share their tips and everything else with, all the good stuff that they've been doing with you guys is been really inspirational, and it's pretty awesome, to be honest with you, and I love that. And it's one thing that kind of spurs me on to keep doing the podcast for sure. And it was back in probably May 2020. We were just hitting lockdown, and I had a choice. I was thinking maybe I could do what some other people have done and really ramp up my YouTube channel and try and I knew that by doing videos every day, that would, it would certainly help. I know a thing or two about YouTube SEO and optimization and stuff, so I knew how to get my videos ranked, but it was such a time drain and a mental drain to actually do the videos. I wasn't in a place where I had peace and quiet all the time. It was difficult to even get the videos done, and for a good while I had a problem with trying to make it so that I really delivered enough value, I guess, to you guys, and that was the thing. So what happened was I got the Traffic Secrets book through the post. I ordered it through Russell Brunson. It was a free plus shipping offer, which I didn't mind. It was like less than $10. I think it was actually a little bit more than that to get it to the UK at the time, but I didn't mind doing that. A book, a hardback book, just having it right here on my desk now is just fantastic. And if you haven't got the book, then go get it. I'm not going to give you no links or anything like that. Just search for Traffic Secrets by Russell Brunson, and go get it. It is really, really good. And I remember reading parts of it, and I got to a point where I had like there was definitely a point where I read to, and it was simply just where Russell mentioned about publishing and putting your content out there, and one of the things that really resonated with me was that he said that if you do a podcast, publish a podcast every day for a whole year, you'll never have to worry about money again. And And that was the sort of thing that really hit home. And I thought, do you know what, maybe I could do the podcast again and restart it and go for it again. And I was talking to Parker Woodward, who's Dave Woodward's son. Dave Woodward is the sort of like Russell Brunson's right hand man. So being able to talk to Parker on a regular basis is awesome, because he's a great guy, and he actually helped me, along with Evans Putman, put this whole thing into motion. Where talking about podcasts, and I thought, okay, right, well, how can I manage to stay consistent? How could I get over the tech side of things and make sure that I do publish every day? Because to be consistent, you have to lower the barrier. You have to break through that personal disbelief that you can do something. And what I found was that I found a way to do it, and it's literally how I'm doing it now. I was using an iPhone. I was able to figure out that if I open GarageBand and just hit record, then I could speak directly into the mic and record a podcast, and then upload it straight through to Buzzsprout, which is my podcast host, and it would get distributed out and over several channels and stuff like that. And that was the easy thing, because then I realized that with less than half an hour a day, in fact, sometimes even 15 minutes or 20 minutes a day, I could get a podcast out. And now, admittedly, when I'm doing interviews, it is a little bit more. I tend to get them on Zoom first. I record that, and then I can output the audio onto Buzzsprout, and my podcast is there. It's live, it's published, and that's great. But it was the fact that I was able to put it out there with the least, I wouldn't say the least amount of effort, but the least amount of tech obstructions. And each day it's surprising. When I first started, it was weird, because I thought, oh man, who's going to listen for a start? And then I thought, what am I going to talk about? It was really weird, because I thought no one's going to be interested in what I've got to say. I mean, who am I at the end of the day? But I just thought, screw it. I'm just going to spill my guts every day. I'm just going to tell people exactly what I'm doing, how I'm doing it. Occasionally there'll be like a pitch, like at the moment, if you go into the show notes, there's something there, but I'll go into that in a minute. But the fact that I could make it easy to access for people, and it's massively gratifying as well, because off the back of doing these, I know at least 2 people which have gone on and launched their own successful podcasts. And that's the kind of impact that I really wanted. I wanted not just to, line my pockets and stuff like that. That wasn't the motivation behind it. It was, how can I impact on other people, and in a positive way? And that's what's kind of happened, because now there's only one of me, so there's only so much that I can put out there. But as far as like the positive karma in the world, but if I've got like 2 or 3 other people doing the exact same thing, that kind of like replicates my own efforts, if you like, and makes things more worthwhile. So I check in with those podcasts that have been created. There's Angie Machini and also Jake Anderson. Go check their podcasts out, because they're both delivering some fantastic stuff. And I just am really humbled a little bit, because what I wanted to achieve, which the first point, or the first thing that I wanted to achieve, was actually to make that impact and have it so that other people started getting results, started learning, and started impacting around the world. And that was the great thing. And that's the super cool thing about doing a podcast, is when you do get that information out to other people, then there's only positive thing that's can happen. So let me get back to what I was talking about earlier on, which was Tomorrow, which is the 4th of January, so it depends on when you're listening to this. I don't know if the recordings are going to be available forever, so it's one of those things. You're either in or now or you're not. And I know that a whole bunch of people are going to listen to this podcast, so it is kind of up to you. But Russell is putting on a free 5-day training, or a 5-day challenge, let's say, on how to get leads. And of course, as business owners, we all know our lifeblood is the ability to get leads into our funnel, into our business, into our lives. And I think it's such a cool thing. And I thought, right, how can I really make a difference with this? How can I put it out there so that people get the best out of it and really take it on and really get the most out of it? And I thought, okay, right, well, maybe I'll do like a show afterwards. So I'll be on there. I'm registered. And if you're not registered yet, there's a link in the show notes there where you can get registered, okay, right, for free. Now, let me just explain how that's going to work for a start. I want to make sure that you guys get involved. I want to make sure that you guys get the most out of it. And like I said, it is a free registration. So when you click on that link in the show notes, it's going to take you to a page, right, which is my page, where I will ask you for your name and email address, and you're going to be put on one of my lists, right, which is just for this challenge. And once you're on there, it's then going to say, okay, right, well, once you've entered your details, it's going to then send you to a thank you page where you can click and you can go through to get access to the free. Now, it is an affiliate link. I don't know why, but it is because one reason or another, it's just a link, right? But you're still not paying anything. You still don't even have to put your credit card details in, nothing, which is great. Okay, so there's a low end barrier for you. You can just go ahead and register. But I've also put a link there to a Facebook group where I'm going to be going live every day after Russell's finished his training to really do a question and answer session to kind of like make sure that people are accountable and doing the work and getting the most out of the training. And if there's anything they didn't understand or they don't want to go through something again, then we can do that, and we can do that together. And that's the reason why I wanted to put that thing together. And it's going to be interesting for me because it's something that I haven't done before. And obviously after Friday finishes, probably next weekend, I'll most likely do podcasts and get some feedback and also get some takeaways from the whole week's worth of training as well. So I'm looking forward to it. And if you haven't, like I said, if you haven't registered for that free training yet, you go to the show notes, make sure that you do click on the link, get yourself into that list, make sure you don't miss out, and follow the instructions and all that good stuff. And I'll look forward to speaking to you, which will should hopefully be after the first live training tomorrow.